Hey friends, Sean from Draft Therapy here, and on today's review for you, it's Tropical Hot Dog Night. Tequila Barrel Aged Flamingo Fruit Fight is a 6% tart ale from Bell's Brewery in Comstock, Michigan. This past weekend, I took a drive out to Kalamazoo. I wanted to hit a few local spots, and I had some beer to pick up, and the road, as usual, ended at the Bell's General Store. Now, I've already had Flamingo Fruit Fight a couple years ago. I got to try the Lemon Lime Fruit Fight at the Eccentric Cafe. So when I saw the Tequila Barrel Aged Flamingo Fruit Fight in the general store, it just called to me. So let's get a look at the label. We'll get down to business. But first, I'd like to thank my executive producers, Eric Latowski, Brian Kramer, David Jeffries, and Zach for helping to bring this review to you today. If you'd like to become a producer, help out the channel, or maybe even just buy me a beer, take a look at my Patreon at patreon.com/draft_therapy, where you can get early access to these videos, exclusive patron-only live streams, and a few other special perks available only to patrons. So let's take a look at the label. Let's take a look at everything. First off, I'm going to turn this on the top. Bell's likes to do this thing. They change certain caps. They have special caps for special things. On the top here, it says Tequila Barrel Aged Flamingo Fruit Fight. It has basically a picture of a barrel and Flamingo Fruit Fights written in that. Has a little agave, leaves there, and a passion fruit sliced, dissected in there. If we look at the front, we start at the top with the thing that we generally see on Bell's bottles, at least, the Bell's logo. It says Comstock, Michigan. As we look down a little bit lower, we have some passion fruit, we have some agave, we have some limes in here, and of course we have the flamingos, one with the drink in its mouth, the other one with a little agave tucked under its wing, and it says Tequila Barrel Aged Flamingo Fruit Fight, and then an agave plant with a passion fruit and a lime slice in there. I really like the label on this. It's very, it's very just kind of whimsical. Lets you know, hey, you're just going to have fun with this beer. Across the bottom, it says Tequila Barrel Aged Tart Ale with passion fruit and lime, brewed and bottled by Bell's Brewery Incorporated in Comstock, Michigan. Then if we turn it around to the back, we have the purple, the red, all the independent craft beer logo, all that stuff, all the colors, all, of course, very coordinating. It says, fight like a tart ale, party like a flamingo. Everything you love about our original Flamingo Fruit Fight, passion fruit and lime zest, but aged in tequila barrels, taking this tart ale to new heights. Then it has the government warning, tells you the shelf life, which is 12 months, and alcohol 6% by volume. This was packaged on May 14th, 2021. Now, I have to say I am surprised, or that I was surprised, that this is Tequila Barrel Aged, and it didn't really pick up a whole lot on ABV. I don't remember exactly what Flamingo Fruit Fight, the original one, I think it was like around 5%, but let's go ahead and crack this open. We'll just test this one, and we'll see if it tastes boozy at all with that tequila barrel aging. But first, we got to crack that cap, and I love to see the vapor come out of the top of any bottle that I crack. Let's put a nose on it like we do. Definitely getting a nice tequila aroma. It's not overpoweringly, it's not overpowering or bitter, but just has a nice kind of aroma. It definitely has those tequila notes in it. We're going to take our Draft Therapy Tiku glass, and let's go ahead and pour this. Comes out pretty hazy, pretty golden out of the bottle. Go ahead and pour it down the tube there. And we're getting about, I'd say we're getting about a finger and a half to 2 fingers ahead. It's a little bit off-white, but it's a nice, a nice colored head, very dense bubbles, exactly what I would expect to see. If we hold it up to the light here, it's hazy. I mean, it's got a lot of particulate floating in it at the very least, but it's not, you're not seeing through that. It's not clear. I don't see a lot of carbonation rising up from it, but again, I still see a nice amount of head that's hanging around there. Let's put a nose on it. And the same kind of aroma, maybe getting a little bit more of a lime kind of smell out of it, maybe a salty kind of flavor, aroma out of it, not a flavor. And then tequila, of course, on the follow-up. Go ahead and try it out. Cheers. Wow. Definitely has that tequila flavor to it, but let's start at the top. So we'll start with the mouthfeel. The mouthfeel is a little bit, it's not super light. It's not really crisp. It's almost got this kind of, it's like there's like a very textured kind of feel to it. It almost feels like there's a bit of a, I don't want to say like a grit, but I'm kind of like putting, like there's almost particulate, like it's like a super fine particulate, but it's not super crisp and not super not super like refreshing for a 6%, if that makes any sense. So let's talk about the taste next, because I've been taking a few tastes and it's registering all these different kind of flavors in my head as I'm drinking it, but I'll try it out and we'll talk through it. You definitely get the kind of dry tequila flavor out of it. A lot of that hits on the back end, but a lot of it comes up on the front too. There is a very light kind of lime flavor in there, and there's another flavor. Obviously, it's the passion fruit, but it's kind of like it takes a back seat because the tequila almost. I remember Flamingo Fruit Fight, the original. I'm not talking about the lemon lime because it's one I just had, but I remember the original being kind of a little bit more of a punch of that passion fruit kind of flavor. You're getting a bigger punch of passion fruit in the original. This one, those flavors, both the lime and the passion fruit, I'm getting a lot of the passion fruit on the aftertaste after that tequila kind of flavor starts to wear off. But the passion fruit's there and it's kind of punchy, but I feel like it's kind of muted by all the tequila flavors that are in there. Definitely getting like the barrel. You're getting a lot of the tequila barrel characteristic, but you're not getting a lot of the booziness, right? So it's 6%, and that makes sense that you wouldn't get a lot of any kind of boozy tequila characteristic out of it. You get a little bit of that dry tequila flavor, a little bit of a borderline, almost salty flavor out of it, but it's not quite there. It's not quite pushing you to salty, but you're definitely getting a lot of the tequila barrel characteristic, a lot of a kind of oaky flavor. And I want to say that even when I said that kind of gritty or that kind of fine particulate mouthfeel, I think what the dryness of the oak or the barrel characteristic that you're getting is what kind of lends to that different kind of mouthfeel. Now, it's not a bad mouthfeel, but you have to go into this thinking it says it's tequila barrel aged, but you're not getting like a whole punch of tequila. You're getting just a real light, like almost like a tease of tequila in there, but it's with that barrel characteristic that really pushes that. You can tell it's aged in a tequila barrel, but it doesn't have like the tequila characteristics. It is tart, and I feel like that little bit of liminess in there kind of adds to that tartness, and of course that barrel characteristic really kind of draws out that dry tart flavor to it. But because the passion fruit is in there and that lime is just kind of, they're both kind of subdued flavors, you're not really getting, it's not really super punchy. Now, you could sit here and you could probably drink, like, it comes in a 4-pack. I think you could probably drink the 4-pack and be under, still be under pretty good control if your tolerance is pretty decent. There's 6%. Again, I talk about it all the time. 6% is not super high, but it's also, not, it's not nothing either. It's not like a light beer, but I just feel like I would like to get a little bit more of the tequila and a little bit less of the barrel characteristic. Now, again, it is 6%, so you can't really expect that it's going to be the super boozy kind of, flavor and taste and everything. You definitely get the tequila on the nose, on the aroma. Everything lends you down that tequila road. But what ends up happening with the beer itself is you get that muted passion fruit, you get that muted kind of lime flavor. It has a bit of a sweetness from that. You get a little bit of that almost tease of tequila flavor. But you end up with just a lot of oaky barrel flavor. So if you are, if you like bourbon, let's say you like bourbon barrel aged beer, but you like the bourbon characteristic, and you were to drink a bourbon a bourbon barrel aged beer and just got the kind of the barrel characteristic and not the bourbon characteristic, you might be a little bit disappointed. But if you are someone that likes to get that oaky tequila barrel aged flavor, and you like Flamingo Fruit Fight, that's kind of like two, disclaimers that you have to put together. I think this one would be right up your alley. But if you're someone who's looking for something that pushes the envelope or pushes a little bit more of that kind of tequila goodness into a tart ale, something think something like a Mas Agave, or even like Eastern Market has done their margarita goses, those have a real good tequila barrel or tequila flavor. This is really true to tequila barrel aged rather than, tart Flamingo Fruit Fight aged with tequila itself. All right, friends, that has been Tequila Barrel Aged Flamingo Fruit Fight from Bell's. Have you had any other barrel-aged sour ales before, and do you have a favorite, or is there one you think I should try? Let me know in the comments down below while you're down there. If you like beer, you might want to subscribe and click that bell because I'm here talking about beer twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and you might as well come along for the ride. You might miss your newest favorite if you're not subscribed and getting those notifications. So until next time, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. Thanks for stopping by. And remember, if you wouldn't want someone to say or do something to your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your son, or your daughter, why would you say it to somebody else or do it to somebody else? Thanks for watching. See you next time. Cheers.